hello. Welcome to Black Family Trivia, hosted by your favorite melanated family. I'm your girl, Tori.
It's your boy, Brandon.
It's your favorite, Mariah.
And I'm Kayla.
If your family is anything like ours, you know there's nothing better than a good trivia game, especially on a long road trip. But here's the thing. Most trivia out there didn't really dive into the richness of Black history or tackle the truths we need to pass down to the next generation. So we said, why not make our own?
Black Family Trivia is our way of bringing you to the barbershop, the dinner table, and the family reunion, all in a fun, family-friendly way. And today kicks off our celebration of Black History Month, and in this episode, we're giving flowers to the Trailblazers, the Black pioneers who changed history, shaped the future, and paved the way for generations to come.
Before we dive into today's trivia, let's take a moment to talk about the origins of Black History Month. Black History Month started with Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who was an American historian, author, journalist, and the founder of the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. He was one of the first scholars to study the history of the African diaspora, and he wanted people to learn about African American history all year long. In 1915, he saw a big celebration in Chicago honoring the progress that Black people had made since slavery or enslavement. Inspired, he started an organization to study and share Black history. In 1926, he created Negro History Week in February.
Mommy, that's a bad word.
Oh, well, no, actually, you're right. We don't use the word Negro anymore today because it has really become outdated, right? And it's seen as a sign of Black inferiority. But back in the day, this was actually the phrase that people used. And so, again, he created that week in February because it included the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, who were two important figures in Black history. Over time, more people celebrated, and by 1976, it became Black History Month.
That's right, Mom. And here we are today, still celebrating, still learning, and still making history. So let's jump into our episode in the honor of the legend who paved the way.
Okay, today's questions will test your knowledge of Black icons who paved the way for future generations. We'll cover history makers in sports, STEM, and the arts. But today we'll be switching it up. Each parent is teaming with a kid for an epic trivia showdown. It's Team Tori and Kayla versus Team Brandon and Mariah. Let's see which duo has what it takes to be crowned today's Black History Trailblazer Trivia champions.
I think you mean Team Mom and Kayla and Team Dad and Mariah. But anyway, we want you at home to also join the fun. Grab a family member, form your own teams, and play along with us. Keep score, challenge each other, and most of all, have fun while celebrating Black history.
Ready to celebrate some history-making legends? Let's get started with some
Black
Family
trivia!
Welcome back. Now it's time for Team Daddy and Mariah to take the stage.
Yes, they're ready to kick off our trivia and test their knowledge on some of the greatest trailblazers in Black history. Let's cheer them on.
Question 1. Who was the first Black player to break Major League Baseball color barrier in 1947? Hint. His number 42 is retired across all MLB teams.
I think it's Jackie Robinson.
That is correct. Okay, question number 2. Who was the first Black woman to win Olympic gold for the U.S.? Hint. She won in track and field in the 1948 Olympics.
That's a tough one. The first name that comes to my mind is Wilma Rudolph, but I'm not sure.
Any guesses over there, Mariah?
No.
Okay, that is incorrect. It is actually Alice Coachman. She specialized in high jump. And again, she was the first Black woman to win an Olympic gold medal.
Question number 3. Who was the first Black woman to win and individual all-around gold medal in gymnastics. Hint, she made history at the 2012 Olympics.
I think Gabby Douglas.
Are you sure?
Yes, you're right.
Nice job.
757, Gabby Douglas.
All right. Question number 4. Who was the first African American to win an Academy Award? I'm going to give you all a hint. She played Mammy in Gone with the Wind in 1939, and we'll talk about that Mammy probably in another episode.
I'm still stuck on that Mammy, but I know you still will talk about that later.
Yes, at another episode.
Yes. Do you? I do not know. I always thought it was Sidney Poitier, but that was a while later.
Something with like McDaniel at the end.
Yes, it's actually Hattie McDaniel. She was the first, again, Black American to win an Oscar. She played the role of a servant in the film Gone with the Wind. She was the daughter of a gospel singer and a veteran of the Union Army, and she spent a lifetime fighting racism in her long career, which also actually included singing the blues and performing on the radio. So definitely learn more about her. Google her. Google all of the people that we're talking about, please, and learn and go buy books at small-owned, preferably Black bookstores to learn more about them. Okay, next question.
Question 5. Who was the first Black woman to run for U.S. president?
Okay, we're going to give you a hint because it was not Kamala Harris.
We don't need a hint.
Okay.
Shirley Chisholm, back in the 80s, I think it was, is when she ran.
I thought it was Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Understand.
Yes. You all need to definitely do your research on Mrs. Chisholm for sure. Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, last question, number 6. Who was the first Black billionaire in America? Okay, what y'all got?
Could be Oprah. I know Michael Jordan and LeBron James have gotten there, but they weren't the first. Maybe, is it Robert Johnson, the guy who started BET?
You are correct. Robert L. Johnson became the first Black American billionaire actually in 2000. He co-founded BET, a media company that was purchased by Viacom for $3 billion. Let me tell you, I grew up on BET. A lot of our shows come from there. We will definitely have to do a BET episode one time. And just FYI, some other Black billionaires that y'all youngins might know is Oprah Winfrey and Jay-Z.
All right, we're halfway through our Trailblazer and Black History trivia. Team Daddy and Mariah did a great job. They only missed 2. How's everyone listening holding up? Don't stress. If some of these questions were tough, this is all about learning, reflection, and celebrating the credible Black pioneers who changed the game.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Feel free to use this time to have a chat about a Black history trailblazer who inspires you. Maybe it's someone we mentioned in today's game so far, or someone from your own family. Then we'll jump back and finish strong. Team Mommy and Kayla, that's us, will be in the hot seat after the break.
Welcome back. We hope you had a moment to reflect or share your thoughts about the incredible trailblazers we've been learning about. Now it's time for Team Mom and Kayla to take the spotlight. They're ready to celebrate these history makers and put on their trivia skills to test. Let's see what they got.
Okay, I'm ready, though it looks like Kayla has left me, so I think I'm on my own right now.
It's fun. I'm sure you'll do great.
Thank you.
Okay, question 7. Who is the first black woman to travel to space? Hint, she's also a doctor and an engineer.
Okay, we have actually read so many books about her, Mae Jemison.
Yep, but in a formal way, you could say doctor, but it's fine.
Okay. Oh, I was informal. My bad. Dr. Mae Jemison. Thank you.
Here's a fun fact. She went to space in 1992 aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour.
Question 8. Who became the first black woman to be elected Vice President of the United States in 2020?
Oh, look, Kayla came back. What's the answer, Kayla?
Kamala Harris.
Is that correct?
Yup, and actually, here's another fact. She was also the first woman and first person of South Asian descent to hold the office.
Oh my goodness, let me tell you, I'm missing the Kamala Harris days. What could have been? Okay, moving on.
Question 9. Who was the first black U.S. Supreme Court Justice?
Okay, that is Thurgood Marshall.
Good job, good job. Here's a little fun fact. He was appointed in 1967. Also, he was a lawyer for the NAACP.
NAACP, yep.
And he helped with the Brown Board of Education case.
Yep, Brown versus Board of Education, the ruling in 1954, was one of the most important in U.S. history because it ruled that racial segregation in schools was unconstitutional, saying that separate but equal was not really equal. This case ended legal segregation in public schools, keyword legal segregation, and was a huge step in the civil rights movement. It helped open doors for equal education for black students across the country, and there's still much work to be done. Question number 10. That's one of my favorites when I learned it growing up. Who invented the 3-light traffic signal or stoplight?
Okay, of course, Kayla has left me, but I do know, this is bad, I cannot remember the last name, but I know the first name is Garrett. I'm embarrassed, y'all. I'm embarrassed, but I know it's Garrett something.
He should be embarrassed. Garrett A. Morgan. Never forget that name. My mom taught me that when I was young. He patented that invention, the 3-light stoplight or traffic signal, in 1923. And for those kids listening who are wondering, what is a patent? A patent is a legal document that gives the inventor the right to prevent others from making, using, or selling their invention. So in other words, the patent is a way that somebody could just rise up and say, oh, hey, I created the traffic signal. Like, no, I'm the first person that did it, and the patent gives you the right to claim that.
Yes. Okay, well, can I get some bonus points? Because I do remember that he did create the early version of the gas mask, which obviously is used in war. So I do remember that fact.
Good, but that's not the question.
Get some points for Dean. Kayla has left me, but okay.
Question 11. Who was the first black child to integrate at all-white elementary school in the South in 1960?
I know this for sure. Ruby Bridges.
You're right. Ruby Bridges was just 6 years old when she made history in New Orleans, walking past an angry crowd with federal marshals by her side.
Yes. I can never forget those pictures for sure. And she's actually a lifelong activist. She still lives today. So yes, kids, if you're at home like, wait, someone who was the first black kid to enter or integrate a school an all-white school in the 1960s, like that person's still alive. Yes, it was not that long ago. She lives in New Orleans still and runs the Ruby Bridges Foundation, which she established in 1999. And she's, of course, fighting for racial equity.
And to that point, Black history is not that long ago because, as I think we mentioned in the episode before, your popsy, Mariah, my dad, he also integrated his school, high school, and he's still living and able to talk about it and share great stories that came from that and his courageous acts. So this is hits home for us, I would say.
Yes, definitely. The civil rights movement was not that long ago, and we have still many of those people living with us today who can tell us about it. So it's important to talk to your elders, to talk to folks who are who can share the wisdom, right? Because I think many of you might know that we are still fighting for our civil rights today.
All right, last question 12. Who developed the first successful open heart surgery without X-ray technology? And here's a hint. He never had a formal medical degree, but he trained under top doctors.
Okay, I'm very embarrassed, but let me just tell you that I was a school teacher, but I was an English teacher, not a history teacher. Even though I did spend 1 year teaching American history, unfortunately, that curriculum did not spend too much time on Black history.
Answer?
Okay, sorry. I do not know the answer to this. I'm embarrassed again.
It's all right. We're all learning today. Dr. Vivian Thomas is the answer. Not to be confused with Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, who was the first African American to perform a successful open heart surgery in 1893. But back to Dr. Thomas, he was a medical pioneer who revolutionized heart surgery despite never being allowed to operate. That's crazy. Born in 1910, he dreamed of becoming a doctor, but the Great Depression and probably racism ended his college plans. As a lab assistant to Dr. Alfred Blaylock, he mastered surgical techniques and developed the life-saving procedure for blue baby syndrome. Though he guided the first surgery in 1944, he received no credit at that time. Terrible. Later, he was honored with a doctorate and trained future surgeons, and his work is still saving lives today.
Okay, I was going to say, wait, if he never had a medical degree, how did he... Why are we calling him? But you said, okay, he had a PhD. So go folks with that doctor.
That's,
Now, I was just wondering because I was like, wait, you said Dr. Vivian, but I mean, let's just talk about how this man was doing all of that without a medical degree. Yeah. Let me tell you, Black excellence.
People, yes, people of strength, creativity. We had to overcome a lot, still overcoming a lot. So that's why we celebrate this month with pride.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on our Trailblazers and Black History Trivia episode. We hope this inspired you to celebrate the Black pioneers who broke barriers, changed the game, and paved the way for future generations. Keep the conversation going with your family. Share what you learn, talk about the impact of these history makers, and challenge each other to carry their legacies forward.
Yes, and thank you for tuning into this episode of Black Family Trivia. If you had enjoyed this one, make sure to subscribe, share it with your family, and leave us a review.
We'd love to hear which Trailblazer stood out to you the most, or if there's someone you think should be featured in our next episode. Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and Threads. We got it all.
We hope you join us next time for more trivia, more laughs, and more of that good Black family connection. Until then, keep making history, lifting up your community, and honoring those who paved the way. Stay blessed. See you next time.
Happy Black History Month, y'all!